Hello.
Did you make up with Pat yet or
Oh, you're so fucking stupid. Oh. Dude, there's something wrong with my neck again. I don't know why, just periodically. Oh, I get fucking neck problems. Oh, it's on my right side. Oh, what the fuck is the deal with that shit? Are the roids gonna kill my dumb ass? Well, Mike O'Hearn isn't dead, and he's been doing roids for at least 30 years, so probably not. Definitely blasting harder than I've been, too.
You are going to see highlights about me and Sharon Kwan being the first two Asian Chinese American.
If, you're just banned. Just go cry somewhere else, dude. I don't need to hear your whiny crybaby bullshit. If somebody, literally can't even fucking speak English, how the fuck are they a mayor in an American city? She literally can't speak English.
Women ever elect to be Arcadia City Council in 119 years history of Arcadia. You might have heard that I was the only Chinese councilwoman that come from the mainland China in history to be elected as city council, or maybe
As my first action as Chinese mayor, I'm going to make it okay to poop in sidewalk.
you heard I am the only Democrat city council member here. I'm humble.
That was former Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang, and what she forgot to add to that speech was that she was the first Chinese spy to be elected mayor of a California city. Just a few days ago, she pled guilty to acting as an illegal agent of the Chinese government and is now facing up to 10 years behind bars. This whole
How do you only get 10 years for that? How? Only 10? That should be a life sentence. Like, fuck me. And I mean, who the fuck are the dumbasses who voted for this bitch? She's fucking Chinese and can't speak English.
story is completely wild with tons of twists and turns, so let's break it all down. Eileen Wang is a Chinese-American immigrant who was born in the Sichuan province in China in 1967. Her family eventually came to the USA and did quite well, with her father being a physician who later worked at the prestigious University of Southern California, and her mother was an accomplished acupuncture doctor. Eileen moved to the city of Arcadia, which is about 13 miles northeast of downtown Los Angeles, because she felt it was a great place to
Dodo donated $2.
This iconic South Indian dish is not meant to be chewed, and here's why. When I visited Bengaluru, I tried one of the most surprising staples for the first time. Ragi mudde is made from finger millet and sometimes mixed with cooked rice before it's rolled out and divided into portions the size of a cannonball. It's traditionally served alongside a fragrant curry made from a huge mix of greens, chickpeas and mung beans. Once they are strained, some more aromatics hit the pan to give the greens a flavor boost. Then an entire pantry worth of legumes, spices and aromatics are fried in oil, mixed with some of the stewed greens and the cooking liquid and transformed into a fragrant masala. As a final step, more aromatics disappear into the giant cauldron and are mixed with the masala, coriander and cooking liquid before it's showtime. The trick is to not chew the ragi mudde because it's far too sticky. Instead, it's simply swallowed while the side dishes deliver the big flavors.
That's really weird. I don't think I'd like that. Those are cats. Oh. Little baby kitties. Wow. That's nice. I don't know if I'll watch that whole thing.
Funding, right? How they're not registered under FARA is hard to understand. These are well-funded, organized groups, funded in most part by foreign adversary nations and those that support those foreign adversary nations.
I was just watching this kind of humorous interview that Mario Diaz-Balart, the Southern Florida right-wing representative, did with Fox News. And he was trashing Code Pink, saying that we're well-organized, thank you, well-funded by foreign entities, and that's why we're so anti-American. It's kind of
They literally take orders directly from Beijing.
humorous because we get no money from any foreign entity, and yet, when you look at where does Diaz-Balart get his
That's not even true.
money, look at Track APAC, and you see that his colleagues in Florida, some of them get $46,000, $25,000. What does Mario Diaz-Balart get? Over $1 million from APAC. I wonder why he has such a pro-Israel position. And he's telling us that
Yeah, I wonder why you have such a pro-communist position. I wonder if it has anything to do with you being directly linked with the Communist Party. Huh. Weird. Fucking hate these people. Roll my eyes at that shit. I don't know exactly what any of this even means. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Lost and Found donated $2. Is it possible for a woman to lose 50 pounds on Ozempic? Roughly how long could that take? You could lose 50 pounds in about a minute if you chop off both your legs, and if they're heavy enough. Yeah, you can lose 50 pounds on Ozempic. You can also lose 50 pounds without Ozempic. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Thanks for the donation, dude.
It's great to see you've recovered from that sickness from whatever you ate. VG.
I took a weird poop and then I felt better. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Like 3 layers and bean sandwich, but so glad I went with the pasta. We then packed the rest of the leftovers for dinner. Then we went mushroom hot.
Yeah, that is boring.
To raise her kids, and in 2022, she ran for city council seat in Arcadia as well. She won the election and made it on the council, but this is when she started to get a lot of attention about possibly being a foreign agent for China. The first red flag, yes, pun intended, was when the Los Angeles branch of Singtown News Corporation donated $3,300 to her election campaign in 2022.
It means Trump has removed laws protecting these endangered species, VG.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Like, that's not specific. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Tsingtao has been a registered foreign agent for Chinese interest since 2021, so Eileen receiving a contribution for her campaign from them put her under scrutiny. Leading up to her run for office, she was engaged to a man named Yaoning Mike Sun, who ran a website called U.S. News Center for the area's Chinese Diaspora. Her fiancé Sun was prosecuted as a foreign agent for China in December of 2024.
The mayor of Arcadia refusing to speak with us about her former fiancé, who was just sentenced to prison for being a Chinese spy.
CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite live in Arcadia for us, where the city council held a meeting for the first time since the sentencing.
This is such a strange and intriguing story. As you said, the mayor of Arcadia linked to now a convicted Chinese spy. We tried to ask her some questions about the sentence, but she refused to answer. Tuesday's council meeting was the first since the now convicted spy, Yaoning Sun, who also went by Mike Sun, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for his covert actions on behalf of the Chinese government. The feds say starting in 2020, Sun operated a pro-Chinese Communist Party news website for the Chinese American community. Sun was also directed by Chinese officials to boost the campaign of an unidentified Southern California politician.
The campaign that Sun was to boost seems pretty clear to be his fiancée, Eileen. Sun's indictment as a foreign agent in December couldn't have come at a worse time because Eileen was elected mayor at the start of 2026.
So we're going to have the city clerk administer the oath of office for incoming mayor Eileen Wang.
I
state your name,
Eileen Wang,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
She
that
can't.
I will support
That's what blows my mind more than anything. She can't fucking speak English. California has to be the dumbest fucking state in the entire fucking country.
and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear the true.
It means if someone tries to hunt or even kill polar bears or green sea turtles, they might not be arrested for the law being less enforced. And that's bad, VG. Because you love animals, Trump is such a fucking scumbag.
Well, sea turtles, that'd be bad. Polar bears, I don't care. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
True faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
upon
which I am about to enter.
Do any of you know what the launch codes are? Has anyone heard of any launch codes?
Okay, congratulations. Thank you.
Oh my God.
After she was elected mayor, Eileen went on damage control and started lying to everyone on camera that she hardly knew Mr. Sun and that he was not her fiancé at all, but video evidence shows her saying that he was her fiancé, so clearly she was lying. We'll break down all that crazy doublespeak after a word from today's sponsor. We all spend a huge portion of our lives online, but have you ever stopped to think about how much of your personal data is actually out there? Between massive data breaches and sophisticated phishing scams, protecting your identity today. Eileen's fiancé was indicted for being a Chinese agent and running a website putting out pro-Chinese propaganda directed by the Chinese government to attack groups like Falun Gong, a spiritual practice which has been banned in China, and supporters of Taiwanese independence. Eileen backed away from her connection to Sun and even claimed in a televised city council meeting that Sun was never her fiancé, and people were lying about her.
Number one, he's not my fiancé. Whoever wants to see he's my fiancé or former fiancé, please prove it.
If you're gonna lie directly to people's faces, it's probably not a smart idea to have video evidence of yourself saying the exact opposite, thus proving you're a liar. But I guess Aline didn't realize that in past televised city council meetings, she had identified Sun as her fiance.
To my fiancé, Director Mike's son, who walks streets with me every single day, who is a real leader of me.
Obviously, no one was buying her story at this point, and the feds were working behind the scene to build a case against Aline as well. She was eventually indicted for being a foreign agent, and earlier this month, Aline pled guilty to those charges and stepped down as the mayor of Arcadia.
The mayor of Arcadia has agreed to plead guilty to being a foreign agent spreading Chinese propaganda.
Mayor Wang, seen here in campaign videos she posted online, has accepted a plea deal that could see her spend up to 10 years behind bars. Federal prosecutors say the mayor and a then fiancé were posting Chinese Communist Party propaganda on a website called U.S. News Center. According to court documents unsealed today, Mayor Wang received and executed directives from PRC government officials to post pro-PRC content on this website and sometimes sought approval from PRC government officials.
Just remember, if some jackass does this to a sea turtle, they may not go to jail now.
Imagine you're just swimming, and someone steps on your back.
Okay, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
To circulate other pro-PRC content.
The website that we're talking about looked like a standard news website that got a lot of traffic in the community. If you signed on, it looked kind of like the CNN website, does, with lots of different, just regular news updates. And then, peppered in with the regular news were these items of propaganda.
The FBI indictment against her goes into a lot more detail as to how she was working for the Chinese government. By her own admission, after pleading guilty, she was helping run and spread propaganda that her fiancé was putting on the News Center website. In 2021, there was a story going around about China using forced labor for cotton production in the Xinjiang province, and Aline and the foreign agents were instructed to tear down this narrative. The FBI stated in the indictment how this went down. In June 2021, a PRC official contacted Wang and other individuals via the WeChat encrypted messaging application with pre-written news articles, including a PRC official written essay in the Los Angeles Times that stated, "China's stance on the Xinjiang issue, there is no genocide in Xinjiang, there is no such thing as forced labor in any production activity, including cotton production. Spreading such rumor to defame China, destroy Xinjiang's safety and stability, weaken local economy, suppress China's development." Minutes later, Wang responded back that she had posted the article to her website, as well as other foreign agents doing the same, and the Chinese official responded back with, "So fast, thank you everyone." In August of 2021, Wang again was promoting Chinese propaganda, with the FBI stating that Wang and 3 other members of the same group chat shared links to the same article on their respective news websites, after which the PRC official thanked them for their reporting. At the PRC official's request, Wang made edits to the article, sent the official a link to the article reflecting the requested change, then sent the official a screenshot showing the article had been viewed 15,128 times. In response, the official messaged, "Great." Wang then replied, "Thank you, leader." Now again, in November of 2021, Wang was once again caught red-handed by the FBI, stating that Wang communicated with John Chen, a high-level member of the PRC intelligence apparatus who regularly attended elite Chinese Communist Party functions, including military parades, and met personally with PRC President Xi Jinping, according to court documents. Wang asked Chen to post a news article from her website and wrote, "This is what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs wants to send." Now, John Chen was also an agent of the Chinese government operating out of New York and was sentenced to 4 years in prison back in 2024 after it was discovered he was harassing the Falun Gong group in the US on behalf of the Chinese government, as well as attempting to bribe a IRS agent to help end the Falun Gong group in the USA. The FBI stated that in the course of the scheme, Chen, on a recorded call, explicitly noted that the purpose of paying these bribes, which was directed and funded by the PRC government, was to carry out...
Dodo, do you think this person is a bot? Yes.
Hello? Yes, I'm sorry. Could we talk a bit later? I've got these people being the interview our bedroom. And next day, we just took what we could carry and went to my uncle Hussein's house in Nablus, because there was no fighting in Nablus. The Zionists were, coming into Jerusalem. Houses when that
Oh my god, dude. Maybe they shouldn't have tried going to war with Israel. Like, have they ever thought of that? It's insane. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
Tell you what I do think. I think the Democrats have a weird candidate. 6 genders, a real hit on Jesus. I mean, this guy is bad news with his mask from relatively recently. And he's a vegan. All of a sudden, he's not a vegan. He was a vegan. Now, all of a sudden, he's not. Texas doesn't like vegans. I do believe.
Never heard of this guy. This guy was vegan? What?
Either one of them will easily win the race. I think that the candidate the Democrats have in Texas is a very flawed, very weak, I think he's a pathetic candidate, especially for Texas.
Okay.
Tell you what
thanks for the donation, Dodo. Smash you on your head, donate $2. That's a good sea lion. That's pretty cool. Dog seems to like that. That's nice. Very nice indeed. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Or if someone drills oil in a Rice's whale habitat, they won't be imprisoned for it.
A controversial federal decision could impact the wildlife that call the Gulf home. This week, the Trump administration made a move to bypass endangered species protections and wrap up oil and gas drilling in the Gulf. Now, that decision is being met.
I'm not necessarily against that. Like, again, we could potentially see a war with China. And the more energy independent the U.S. is, the better. So, thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Big Chungus.
That's a nice chungus. Wow. That's the world's biggest rodent. Capybaras are cool. Never seen that animal before. They're sharing a snack. They both love corn. Yeah, corn is good. Thanks for the donation, jackass.
The PRC government's aim of toppling the Falun Gong. So it's clear that Aline was just one member of a very large coordinated effort by the Chinese government to spread propaganda and harass groups that are not friendly to their ideology here in the United States. As stated before, Aline could face a maximum of 10 years behind bars, but since she willingly pled guilty, she probably won't end up spending even half that time in prison. But she will forever hold the distinction as the first California mayor to be indicted as a Chinese spy. And no.
My name is Mike Dowd. I was a police officer in New York City in the 75th Precinct in East New York in the 1980s to 90s. I was arrested and sentenced to 14 years in federal prison for conspiring to steal drugs and sell protection to drug dealers. And this is how crime works. I had $75,000 in the street that was supposed to come in the day I got arrested. You're talking about a turnaround of about $200,000 in one day. When you get so full of it, you're almost asking for it to end. You know, you start flashing a lot, you're asking for help. The corruption started between 1984 and 1985. So the first thing I ever did was I pulled over a Corvette. It had no license plates, no registration, no insurance card, and he had stacks of hundreds in a bag. I had a choice to either lock him up and take the car and voucher it, put him in jail for a day or two, whatever, let him figure it all out, or have him buy us a lobster lunch. So I suggested he give us money for a lobster lunch. He left a couple $100 under the seat, and I told him, let's not ever see you again without plates and all this other stuff, registration. And I felt like I stole something, and I was nervous. So was the first time I did something like that. And it wasn't like it was followed with many other things. There was a time where I didn't do anything. It was just one of those, can I try something thing? And I did. So I was probably between 24 and 25.
But entire species like that whale could become extinct.
Yeah, and if there's a war with China, a lot worse could happen. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Years old, where it got significant, which would have been street corruption. Like street level, instead of vouchering drugs, you either threw it out or you kept it, or when you found some money on a scene. In my case, I kept it, so that's why I was corrupt. Because instead of turning the money in, I put it in my pocket. As a police officer, you're exposed to everything in the world, right? You're the first on the scene to anything. Whether there was a burglary, you would show up, and if there was something burglarized or not, there was an open entrance into either a home or a business. So at a point or two in my career, there may have been something that I saw that wasn't claimed, and I may have picked it up and put it in my pocket, all right? You're constantly aware of opportunities. So, for example, you're in a busy sector, in a busy precinct, you're constantly going from one job to the next. Call for assistance, robbery, a burglary, a murder, a rape, whatever's going on. And along the way, you're looking for these little opportunities, little rubrics of either drugs or cash, usually, in either order, didn't matter. We took mostly money, and then we got into systematic payoffs, which was really where the best thing was, because it kept us out of the street. Because the street talks too much. We got a call for a burglary at this location. It's like a 2-story walk-up. Go inside, past the first level to the second level, and the door handles.
Let me see. Oh. Those are really nice cats.
We separated.
Why is she here?
What's up?
Why'd you bring her?
We separated.
You just gonna tell him that on camera, nigga?
It's the truth.
No wonder we fucking depressed. You want me to call her, fix it?
Call her, fix it. Trying
Can
to
we
fuck my
fix
wife?
this?
I'm good, man.
First, no, I'm not trying. See, no. What happened? I mean, do you? Just saying.
Look, it's grew apart. That's it.
You let the streaming come between us.
What's that?
She gave up. Nigga, you must have been a real asshole for it.
Thoughts on Trump throwing Taiwan under the bus in order to get 11 to agree on paper to not send military equipment to Iran? Trump is weighing not signing off on a $14 billion weapons sale to Taiwan which Congress already approved. Trump's not a strategic thinker.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Pretty dumb indeed. I don't know if this is just part of some other bigger strategy, if he figures they're not going to invade Taiwan anyway, or they could prevent it anyway. But that does seem pretty dumb. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
To give up the G-Wagon.
I mean, we're separated, but I'm still gonna have to take care of her. So I'll get her something nice. I'll make sure she's good.
Now, why don't you go fix that shit?
What's up?
Why don't you go fix it?
Beyond repair.
No, it's not. Go right. It's nothing that's beyond repair, nigga. You just gotta go fix it, nigga. Is it worth fixing, or are you cool being you?
It's beyond repair, man. Beyond repair.
All right, man. We ain't gonna talk about that shit.
Yeah, he's broke. And, man, I could have seen some of that shit coming from a mile away. Wow. He wasn't even married for that long, right? Fuck me. Today marks the 78th anniversary of the Nakba. Yeah, can you stop sending me this shit, dude?
It's a race against time as a Ukrainian soldier runs to deploy an interceptor drone to block an incoming attack.
Було виявлено ціль, ми відносно вже здійснили бойовий виліт.
Volodymyr and other members of the 5th Assault Brigade are relying on Ukrainian technology to defend the front lines. Their weapon of choice, Sting interceptor drones, a domestically produced unmanned vehicle designed to take out Shahed drones launched by Russia.
Принцип один. Побачив, підійшов максимально близько і нажав кнопочку вибуху, так, щелк, і два об'єкта взриваються. Тобто взривається наш засіб і взривається ворожий. Задоволення від того, що він не долетів, що він не натворив шкоди. Неважливо, бабусі чи військовим. От він просто не виконав свою місію.
The Sting interceptors have a 3D printed body and can fly at an altitude of 3 kilometers, far higher than most quadcopters. But one of their biggest assets is the price point. Each Sting costs around $2,000, while the Shahed drones they target cost $20,000 to $50,000 each. By comparison, the surface-to-air Patriot missiles used to counter drone and missile attacks run into the millions.
Гарна математика. Тобто ми зараз здійснюємо.
It's a pleasure to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you too.
So, honestly, like a lot of people have probably questions. Why do you do it? Here you go, man. Don't get nervous. Why do you do it? What pleasure do you get out of it? But really, I'm just wondering, where the fuck do you get $2 million from looking like that?
I'm a day trader, so I invest in stocks.
Okay. Like what?
Stuff like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple.
Okay. So what are you like?
It's funny how you can be so good at something, but also be so retarded.
Why? All right, here you go. Well, let's get you out there and, damn, dude, you're really struggling here. Somehow this doesn't seem to me like a guy who made $2 million. I don't know.
Yeah, this guy's a retard. He's like only good at one thing. Just day trading. Holy fuck, he's retarded.
What I always tell founders, and what is true, is that although failure is still bad, Silicon Valley has got to be one of the most accepting places in the world for failure. Bill Gates failed at his first startup. Is a way to do that.
I can't even listen to this. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Trump doesn't have a bigger strategy, man. That's cope. He sees his political party is unpopular right now and wants relief in Iran. If he thinks he can get some relief by getting China to pressure Iran, then he will happily throw Taiwan under, as is happening.
I don't see the U.S. being able to allow Taiwan to just get invaded, so I don't think it's that simple. But thanks for the donation, eh?
It's broken off.
You were the same as Larry Wheels, just not rich. And more fat.
No, I wasn't, because I ain't paying my ex shit. Thanks for the donation, dipshit.
So we walk inside, and there's a young black girl, one or two, I can't remember, sitting there, hanging out. Well, we got a call, you broke in. Well, it's our friend's place. They seem legit, it's our friend's place. She said we can hang out here. So I happened to look around the apartment, and I noticed something a little odd.
Let's just be happy the most endangered species on Earth, the vaquita from the Gulf of California, is not on Trump's list. Sadly, Mexico is already screwing over that instead.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Odd. It was sparsely furnished, but it was very clean. I said to the girls, well, where's the girl? She says, our girlfriend was arrested last night. And I open up the closet, and there's like a black or green hefty bag filled with cash. So I'm like, she said, got locked up for drugs. There's cash in here that no one vouchered yesterday. And these girls are in the apartment. So someone's got to take this cash, or at least with that, who walks in behind me is the anti-crime unit, and they see me with the cash in my hand. They go, I said, yeah, what are we going to do, voucher it and give it to the city? So I said, leave it, put it back in the closet. So we put it back in the closet and close the door, and they take the two girls and arrest them for burglary. So I get on the phone, I call Chicky. I go, Chicky, there's a house with a bag of money. He goes, I don't have a car. I go, what do you don't have a car? He goes, it's in the shop being repaired. I said, well, rent one, buy one, steal one.
Again, you aren't rich, so you had nothing to pay.
That's great, don't care, dude.
Just get a car. He ends up calling one of our other guys. They pull up. They get out. They're wearing their blazers, big detective shields on them. They walk in the house, and within 3 minutes, they're in the car ready to leave. So I pull them over. Oh, I got to say, how you doing? We got a big bag of cash here. Great. Okay. So I go to the payphone. I call the desk. I say, listen, I got to go home. My wife needs me for something. So I call, basically bag in for half a day off. We get a limousine and we go to Atlantic City and turn the 5s and 10s and 20s into 100s and come back home with about $40,000 in cash. Now listen, it's a lot of money, $40,000 in cash. My salary was probably $22,000, $26,000 a year at the time. And we put $40,000 in cash in a bag, and we split it 3 ways. And we had a nice time in Atlantic City. Back in the 80s, it was a crack epidemic was going on. Initially, when we were making these arrests, we were overwhelming a system that was already overwhelmed. So we were discouraged from making minor crack arrests. Now, when I say discouraged, they didn't say, don't make crack arrests, because that wouldn't be proper. But what they did say was, after you've made so many arrests, the overtime mounts up, and they put you on not a good assignment to keep you from making arrests. It's facts. So we learned that
People calling him Trevor in the comments don't know that's a joke.
Personality test. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You're dating a bloke that's 60 years old. Mr. Campbell, you sound like a salty ass person. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you are older than 60. Maybe you're younger. But you sound so salty and jealous. Maybe you need to fix something about yourself, because if you were happy with your life, you wouldn't be on the internet rambling on about other people. Like, get a life. Get a life. And if you were so lucky to be 60 years old one day, You probably would want someone that makes you happier and makes you feel alive.
I can like guarantee you'd have a hard time finding a 60-year-old man who wouldn't want to date a chick that's that young and looks that good. Like, yeah, everyone's just a jealous retard.
Okay? So hopefully you become 60 years old and wise.
Yeah, really. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
It was easier just to take street corruption, systematic payoff corruption, and then investigative corruption. It was rampant. It was rampant. The money was just too big. The oversight in the police department during that time, I think they were going through a learning curve themselves. And what do I mean by that? They had just gotten done with the Knapp Commission. In comes the era of crack on the back of this, and they were just not ready for the volume. Years ago, corruption was basically top down. People in very high positions of power, like lieutenants, captains, and chiefs, and inspectors, that dealt with the community at large as far as decision-making processes and who could be in business and who couldn't. And then the
21st donated $2. I said, read the comments, stupid fucking nigger, worthless cunt. Also, I've watched the Insider video before. Hurry up with this
Personality
shit.
test. Let's talk about the
I'm 62 and I'm jealous of him. That was an honest comment. I also thought the dude is her great granddaddy. Gives you serious hope. Classic case study of what we see traveling in Asian countries. He came and went at the same time. None of these are particularly funny. Thanks for the donation, dude.
patrolman enforced the captain's rules. The patrolman would never have to interact with the bosses, so the patrolman could do whatever the hell they wanted as long as no one said anything. What was the best person?
So this is the golden era of New York, when cops were corrupt and there was a crack epidemic. You really have your conception of New York backwards. Things were not good under Giuliani as you pretend they were.
Yeah, that's why crime went down. Thanks for the donation, stupid.
To victimize as a patrolman is a drug dealer in the street. He's not going to call the police and say, "Hi, officer, I'm selling a large volume of drugs, and your police officer is stealing my money." I mean, it's just not the way it's done. Now, today it's done, believe it or not. It is done like that today, because they give them a pass and they take the corrupt cop, which is fine. That's their choice. But it was so upside down that the street cops had more power than the bosses, because you got a guy with a gun who's got a lot of money. Not every organization, not every system was that way, but there were pockets. There were pockets that could do that. And one of the examples I could tell people for a fact, you have New York City Joint Task Force working with a DEA agent. So you got 1 or 2 DEA agents working with 10 cops. And they were all considered DEA agents because they work under the purview of the federal government. They do long-term, deep investigations, which gets them to the level of very high drug distributions. And that's where the money is. You'll get a guy on the street selling $10,000 a day in crack, or $50,000 or $100,000 a day in crack. But he's getting that from somewhere. He's getting that from 2, 3 levels up as bricks of cocaine coming in, where a guy's buying 1,500 kilos at a time, okay? And when you get 1,500 kilos at a time, that means you're handling millions of dollars in cash. So if you're an investigator in the DEA/NYPD task force, they would deep into these organizations, and they would let the guy know, "Psst, you need to leave the country and leave 10 million. Otherwise, we're taking you." And that's how that worked. A lot of guys will say this, "Well, we didn't do that, Mike, and you're disparaging all of us." I know you didn't do this, but many of you knew about it, which in reality makes you guilty. I hate to say it, and I'm not putting that on individuals.
Thankfully, though, with the sighting of one pregnant female, there might still be hope for the species even as the Mexican government removes their protections from the illegal Chinese gillnets.
The annual Vaquita Marina observations in 2026. Instead, from May 19 to 29, 11 local observers from San Felipe, natural areas, and the CHEPD organization.
That's nice. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
But if you know that I've done something corrupt and you don't report me, then you're corrupt. It allows the system to continue the corruption by not pointing it out. Now, you don't want to be the one that called up on me and they haven't gotten rid of me. And I'm still there with my gun showing up to protect you or not protect you. So it really is a very delicate balance. It's just out of survival instincts. Why would a cop tell on another cop if he knew? And many times, I'm going to tell you straight up, many times they didn't know, but they sort of maybe knew. Did you see the difference? Guys around me were corrupt, all right, but not all of them. And we knew each other. There was just the way we knew, the way you operated at a scene, the way things were sort of handled. The scene was handled, not an arrest. But what happens very quickly.
All cops are bastards. Fuck the police. Abolish them all.
Because you know who you can do it around. If they were uncomfortable, you would choose not to put them in that position, so you would ask them to leave or make sure that they weren't fully aware. It's just the way you handle things. It really became an art on not exposing your friends, other police officers, to your acts. It happened a couple of times with me, and I had to apologize to the guys. And it actually was risky. It was risky because I felt very responsible for putting them in positions that may have went either way. I ended up with a lot of complaints being submitted to internal affairs against me, but they were very difficult to substantiate. It was a very big question that always gets asked to me. How many guys were involved in this kind of thing? 2, me and one other guy. I mean, come on, let's be real. So I'm just a fall guy, okay? And I don't mean that I'm not responsible for what I did. I am. I stole money and drugs and ended up selling and using drugs. So I was a victim of my own circumstances for what I did to myself and my family.
I want
and
to
of course,
pet
the police
Pat.
department suffered because of
I'm the only one who gets to do that.
my
Thanks
act.
for that
But it wasn't just me
donation,
alone, and I'm not taking any credit away from others. One time I shook a guy down for about $400 or $500. Drug dealer, drugs. He had coke, marijuana, and heroin in a bag. But he wasn't a big-time guy. He had pockets full of cash, and I peeled off like $400. It was a routine I had. I'd peel off the big bills or take half the stack and put the money back in your pocket. You're going home. You got your drugs and your money back in your pocket. You're not getting arrested. So one day, the precinct commander, the lieutenant on the desk said to 10-1. It means he wanted to talk to me on the phone, lieutenant. So I called the desk and he says, there's someone here putting a complaint. You stole money from him. Some young kid. I go, what? What is he, crazy? Of course I'm going, this guy's crazy. I wouldn't take a dime from somebody. Right. He says, you better get here to the station house before he gets in to make the complaint. Otherwise, they're going to have to open up an investigation. I walk inside the station house and there's the 2 kids, there's 2 of them. And they look at me, I look at them, I go, what's going on? I said, I didn't lock you up. What the What are you doing here? I didn't lock you up. Well, there's $450, whatever, missing. I go, what do you mean missing? I gave you your money back. The kid goes, yeah, but there's $400 missing. So you're in here making a complaint? Maybe it's in the street. Maybe it's in your car. The first thing you do is come in. I said, where's your car? I can't find your car. I was trying to put the money back in the car before I got to the station house. They parked the car 4 blocks away from the station house. I don't know this at the time. So I go, well, let's go check your car. It's probably in your car. I open up the back door. I go, did you look here? And I throw the money on the floor. And I go, oh, no, yeah, we look. I said, well, you didn't look hard enough. I said, don't ever make a complaint against me. I said, you would have cost me my career. If I ever see you again, you go to jail. I mean, they got the marijuana, the heroin, the cocaine still with them. So, I mean, this is how, could you imagine? Guy coming to the station house to complain that I took money. Meanwhile, he's got heroin and cocaine and marijuana on him. But the good thing was the lieutenant looked out for me, you see. He had 20 years more on the job than me, so he wasn't my buddy, but he was looking out. He was looking out. He didn't want me to get jammed up, Months later, I have a new child. I want to straighten my life and my career out. I happen to be in Coney Island, and I end up in an argument with an off-duty police officer, and it gets nasty, and he wants to make a civilian complaint against me, which is unheard of. Police officers don't make complaints against each other. They work it out. So I happen to be out sick, and I was just coming back from the beach. Okay. I was with my wife, and as I'm driving down 111 on Long Island, I passed the vehicle of the guy, the cop, that gave me the hard time in the street in Coney Island. He ends up getting out of his vehicle, and I pull over. I can't see him, but I know the car. And my wife at the time happened to be in the car, and I said, do me a favor. I don't want to turn around and make it obvious. Get a look at the guy. So she gets a look at the guy, and he goes,
Dodo, any tellers of China attacks Taiwan during Trump's term. He is not defending it. Yeah, I think he is.
$12 billion, it's a lot of weapons. But, when you look at the odds, China's a very, very powerful, big country. That's a very small island. It's, you think of it, it's 59 miles away, 59 miles. We're 9,500 miles away. That's a little bit of a difficult problem. With all of that being said, if you look at the history of Taiwan, Taiwan was developed because we had presidents that didn't know what the hell they were doing. Because if they would have put tariffs on chips coming in, they would have never left. Everything was about Intel, and everything was about our chip companies. They stole our chip industry. So I've said that for years. I said, for years they stole our chip. If we would have had one of our presidents just say, we're going to put 100% chip. You can leave, you can build in Taiwan, but you sell it back into the United States. We're going to put 100% or 200% tariff. We would have never lost a chip. We lost the chip industry. It's all coming back. And I do say this.
There is an initiative to make the U.S. the biggest chip manufacturer now because of the whole China-Taiwan thing. The U.S. does need to be more self-sufficient, but again, that'll take at least a couple decades probably. So, yeah, if China invaded Taiwan tomorrow, the U.S. would intervene. That's just nonsensical. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Trump is a...
I don't care, dude. Stop wasting my fucking time.
Goes upstairs into this crack house. There's only one crack house in Islip, and that was the one he was going into. So I go home, and I speak to my neighbor. My neighbor is my current, at the time, my wife's uncle. He's a detective in the 102 precinct. I said, he just went to crack house, this guy. I said, so there's no question what he's doing. He goes, call internal affairs. I go, Billy, I'm not that guy. He goes, because I don't want to tell Billy that I've been shaking people down a little bit and taking money off the street. Not a lot at this time, but doing some of it. Enough where I had a little bit of heat. But, you know, I looked at it as, let's turn a new leaf and start a new leaf, and that was my approach at this time. So I called up internal affairs, and they were at my house within 40 minutes. This turned everything for me in my head. Okay, I'm gonna be a good guy. I want to straighten my life out. Deal, you know, I'm asking God for forgiveness. I went to a priest. I did everything. You know, you could do the cleansing, trying to straighten my life out. And here I am turning on a guy that's selling drugs. We know he's selling drugs. And he's a bad guy because he's starting with a cop in the street, which is not a good thing, right? So he ends up telling me, the lieutenant, what we really want is we want to get enough information in case he wins his case and doesn't take termination as the... I said, wait, so you want to just terminate him from the job so he can't be a police officer anymore? They said, yes. They said, and if he wins his case, we want to have a backup to make sure he doesn't get his job back. So that's why, are you willing to say you saw him? Are you willing to say this? I said, look, I didn't see him sell anything. I said, I saw him go to crack spot. Do the investigation yourselves. But they wanted to know that they could at least begin something. So they left me with the knowledge that all they really want was to get rid of him. I was sitting here saying, I'm swearing my life off to turn my life around. And all they really want to do is get rid of the problem. They don't want to arrest him. They don't want to charge him. They want to just get rid of him. Okay. So that's what that was very impactful for me. Here I am, a cop in the 7.5, and I'm there now probably 3.5, 4 years. So, I mean, you're so exposed to everything. Your window into the world is beyond what others could imagine. I know the people. I'm one of those guys that is easily liked both in uniform and out because...
Remember, China is also responsible for the demise of the Vikita at the 0.47 mark.
One, you'll be sure to see this. Totoaba. The Vaquita. It's a small
that's terrible. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I'm really not looking to hurt you. I'm just looking to see what you're about. If you're dealing drugs, I'm not looking to come down on you hard. I'm just looking to say that don't disrespect me. So I had their trust very early on, and I ended up very close friends with Baron Perez, an auto installer. He installed the music systems. Back in the 80s, they had those big systems, and they would put them in cars, nice cars, you know, fancy cars, and the systems would be $20,000, $30,000 with the gooseneck equalizers. I mean, the stuff that I could throw out there, the Benzie boxes. I mean, all this stuff from the 80s that was chic and expensive, they would all come through his business. So every drug dealer in Brooklyn and Queens had to come through Baron's business to get the best systems. And eventually, at some point, one of the organizations, La Compañía, went to him and said to him, can you get me a little inside information? So being a businessman, he knew that if he could get his buddy me to sell out, which wouldn't have been a far stretch because he knew that I was capable of being a little bit corrupted because I'd already brought him drugs in the past. So now he said to me, if you could help out this guy for the weekend, it was a 4th of July weekend. So it was a no-brainer for me. He wants to know if he's safe to full bore sell his drugs. Well, 80% of the police on 4th of July weekend are either off or at the parades, the piers and stuff. So, yeah, he's got a free reign. I'm going to make $8,000 to tell a story. So I did. I told a story, and I got paid $8,000. I'm not selling them anything. I'm selling them the truth. Go ahead, sell your drugs today because you're doing it anyway, and I'm giving you the okay because you're going to do it anyway. So it was like a no-brainer for $8,000. I just made $8,000. We split it between me and my partner. I remember one of the first acts of corruption. I found a guy with these vials in his mouth. We get a call, a guy selling drugs on the corner of Crescent and Fulton, which is a big hub for activity. We get there, and there's a guy standing there, and he fits the description, so we started questioning him. What are you doing?
Dust donated $2. Let me see. These people are such deranged retards. Thanks for the donation, dude.
He's talking to me. He goes,
my God.
Oh, he's at the dentist. All right, well, we got a call if you're selling drugs here. No, dentist. Okay. He's got crack vials lining his bottom and top and bottom lip, all wrapped in here. So he starts spitting it in the sewer. All right, we leave. 10 minutes later, we get called back. The guy's got the sewer plate off. It's 400 pounds. He's going down the sewer hole to get these things. We don't know what they are. So we figured there's some value to it. You don't just take a 400-pound sewer plate off, right? So within the next 24 hours, we see these things popping up all around the street. So my partner at the time, we found a Newport box filled with these plastic things with caps on them, red caps, yellow caps. He takes them home. He comes back the next day, hands me a couple $100. I go, what's this for? He goes, that's cocaine. I go, what? He goes, we've been throwing it out. He goes, yeah. Now he's handing me a couple $100. I'm like, I guess we're in the cocaine business now. I mean, it became like an ATM machine. Like every corner had a crack dealer on it. And it was just a matter of how much you were going to get them with, either cash or crack. Kenny Urell was a cop in the 7-5 precinct who had no partner. I had no partner, and we'd be putting the car together just by luck or ad hoc. And eventually, I approached him and said, listen, do you want to make this permanent, become partners? Because I'm tired of getting thrown in with these internal affairs women and oddball guys that no one wants to work with. And then I started to explain to him how I made a lot of money. And he said, I know you're a rotten. I said, yeah, but this is how you do it. And he goes, okay, let's do it. So June 87, we became partners. We eventually went from being patrolmen handling jobs, patrolmen shaking down locals, to basically patrolmen doing our job and overseeing drug operations so that they were safe. And that's where we get into the protection market, because it was less exposure. Adam Diaz was the kingpin of a Dominican drug organization. Kingpin because he was a massive dealer. You know, you get a kingpin term when you move more than 100 kilos a week, okay? And he was moving about 1,000 kilos a month, you know? So he was very, very big, a big, massive player in the game, and very well respected in the game. So I got connected with Adam Diaz through the relationship with Baron Perez, the owner of Auto Sound City, who put me together with him after the failing of La Compañía. When La Compañía and I broke up, I figured, it was a one-shot deal. We got our money. Let's move on. But Baron, being a businessman, said, wait a minute, because he was getting a piece on the side. He said, look, I got another guy that's going to want some help. And it turned out to be Adam. I tell Baron, we'll have a sit down and we'll meet this guy face to face. Because the other thing didn't work out. We ended up almost killing each other. The conversation is going to cost him $24,000 for Kenny and I. So it was like $12,000 each. And we sit down, we have a discussion, and we decide how we're going to do this operation. And that if you're going to have us involved, you're going to have to listen to everything we say, because we're risking our careers. And the first thing I said to him was, we're going to be front page of the Daily News if this goes wrong. 4 weeks into it, we see a big bus start being set up. We don't know where. We know this one because there's 60 places that are selling cocaine. Everybody's selling it. We don't know who they're in. So not to take any chance, I get on the phone. I'm supposed to page Baron, hit him on the beeper, 911. He didn't get back to me within a minute. I couldn't wait. I don't know when this bus is going down. So I walk into the bodega on Vermont and New Lots, go to the back, get 2 Heinekens, open them up by the door, and I go, close down now. I don't even know the guy. I don't even know this guy from Adam. I go, close it now. He looks at me, and I go, close it. I take the 2 beers, and I walk out the door. I get in the car. We drive away. We sip on our Heinekens. About 30 minutes later, the lights, the dogs, I don't know if there was helicopters. They hit the store with, I want to say, a team of 20 guys. They couldn't find salt in the store. That's how cleaned out they made the place. Later on, of course, I can laugh about it now, but later on, when I heard the stories, how pissed they were, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know. I just guessed. They might be going to this store. I was right. And I was worth my weight in gold to them after that, because they saved them probably 20-something kilos and probably $500,000 in cash that was just on hand that one day at that one time. I could do no wrong from that point on with Diaz organization. So that's really how I really earned my, earned my street credibility with them. They ended up dissipating. Some got arrested, some left the country. Even after that, I continued to have access through other guys that just, like these spots would just get filled in. If someone got taken out that was moving 100 kilos, someone else was coming in to move 100 kilos. So I smoked a couple of joints in my life, and I wasn't big on it. I never used cocaine. In fact, I was afraid to use cocaine. I ended up doing a couple of bumps, lines, whatever they called back then. And I did it every day for like 90 days thereafter. It just became addicted.
Oh yeah, Alien Earth looks fucking retarded. The whole concept for that show is just beyond retarded. There's no way you could ever have a catastrophic alien invasion on Earth and it'd be a problem. They have synthoid human beings. You could just send in robots to kill off the aliens, and who cares if they die? Like, it's just the dumbest idea imaginable.
Addictive. It was almost like a power struggle. I'm not allowed to do this, but I can. So I ended up just mentally wanting the cocaine as a sign of defiance against the police department, because there was a lot of strife between the rank and file and the department itself. And it was almost like I was bad boy acting out against the department. And eventually, I was so out of control that I couldn't find my gun. I couldn't find my badge. I couldn't find my memo book. So I said, put me on cell duty. So I didn't have to go to the street because I couldn't find my gun and stuff. So I'm on cell duty, and in comes the ICO, the Integrity Control Officer. I look at him, he looks at me, and I know he's on me. It was the day after St. Patrick's Day, and I had just been warned, better watch yourself. And they had put me in the psych services. They were really riding me hard. So I see this ICO walk in. I can't find my I walk up to the desk. I said, I need to go to rehab. The one guy says to me, they want to take me for a piss test, which if they take me for a piss test, I'm done, right? And the union stepped in and said, the guy just turned his gun and his badge and is asking for help. That's not the time to take someone for a piss test to try to fire them. It's because no one will ever walk up and ask for help again. So they were like, you're right. It would be precedent setting. They sent me off to rehab. I did 2 years in what they would call the farm, which is limited duty, restricted duty. I had 8 years invested. I didn't want to walk away with nothing. My life is invested in 8 years. So I did 2 more rehabs. So I relapsed twice during the process. Basically, I was running in there to hide, to be honest. But still, I was relapsing. And so by the time I come back, I'm working in the Whitestone Pound vouchering cars. I'm working in the motor transport division, moving cars around. So I wasn't in a law enforcement capacity per se. So someone in their infinite wisdom decided, to give me my guns back, put me back on patrol. But I was too immature to say, you know what, I should quit. I just, I had a wife and child, another one coming shortly thereafter. I needed to cover my finances, and I didn't know how to get another job. I mean, I was a cop. And now, I quit the police. Who quits the police? You get fired or arrested. Most people just don't quit, So I go back to patrol, and no one would work with me. I come with this baggage, big, heavy baggage behind me. He's corrupt. He's a drunk. He's an addict. Whatever. Listen, people talk. It's like one big soap opera. And eventually I ended up working with a guy who no one wanted to work with because he was hot, right? Damaged goods. At this point, it was baked in disaster because we both felt we were abused by the system or abusing the system. And so we just continued the abuse, in one way or another. So I ended up back in the cocaine business because I needed the extra money. It was greed at that point because I had already cleaned myself out. I wasn't addicted anymore. And I decided that, you know what, I can still make some extra money dealing with cocaine. And that's what I did. I'm bringing small amounts home, and I have 3 or 4 guys that are selling 8 balls. And of course, I missed the money from the Diaz operation. I missed $4,000 a week. So now I had to learn to hustle. And I was making maybe $2,000, $3,000 a week hustling out the side door with the cocaine money. Usually I go to Barron's shop, and I'd have someone drop something off there for me, and I would pick it up, I'd pay for it, and I'd go back to my home on Long Island, break it up, and hand it to my guys. I had 2 or 3 guys. The money in policing is never going to be great, okay? The reality was, you have to set a standard for yourself to live by. I had like $5, $6 in my pocket, and I was a week to go to payday. So after paying my bills, whatever the bills happened to be, whether if I had a mortgage at the time, which sometimes I did or didn't, a car payment, insurance, gas, meals. It doesn't mean it's a hardship. A lot of people back then didn't have a lot of money between paychecks, but the reality was it was a very stressful way to live. I was clearing $315 a week, maybe less at that point. And anytime you get yourself on $1,000 or $500 in cash, you already made double your salary for the week. It became an actual pursuit on a daily basis after a while. And I used the term, it was like it was like an ATM machine on every corner because everybody had money and drugs in their pockets. So however you wanted to work with it. Brand new Corvettes, things like that, vacationing in the Bahamas, constantly going to, Atlantic City or Vegas on vacations. So I lived a pretty, excessively for a guy making $26,000 a year. So I ended up with 4 homes and a condominium on the ocean. That's by the time I was 26 years old. I was burying money in homes and construction. So that's basically a great way to launder money. At the same time, someone's going to know, whether it's your mother, whether it's your neighbor, you're making $28,000 a year, and I'm just giving you have a boat, a car, and a camper. How'd you do this? You're a young guy. Is your family wealthy? No. So May 5th, we're Cinco de Mayo. The following day, I'm at work. Kenny had ordered a Big 8 or something. I could have been 2 Big 8s of cocaine. And it's very eerie to go through this. I was in the patrol car with my partner at the time, Tom Massia, and I was seeing things. Like everywhere I went, I saw undercover police officers. And this is how crazy it is. I don't even want to tell my partner, but I see them everywhere. And now, of course, I'm thinking it's the cocaine. I'm paranoid. I'm crazy. And I'm seeing them everywhere. So at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, we pull up on the bodega. To the right is a church. The priest in there was a very well-known, likable guy. There's a camera in his window. And I'm looking up at this camera. And the camera's pointing at the bodega I just left. So I look up, and I got this brick in my hands. It's in a bag. You don't know what it is. It's big. So something says to me, don't pass this thing. He hands it to me this way. Instead of handing it to me, he hands it to me, and I take it and I put it on the floor of the patrol car. But go on with the day. Kenny goes back to Long Island. I go to the Italian social club for wine and pasta dinner. I leave there. I go to the call box, which anybody who's listening to this would know the call box. It was a bar on Meeker Avenue under the PQE. I go to the call box. I get 2 tall Absolute 7s, take a sip, and we get a call, 10-2, to the command. My partner and I look at each other. We go, did we do anything wrong? Like, it was very eerie. Why are they 10-2 on us? It means report back to the command. So we go back to the command, and we walk in, and the look on the sergeant's face was like, he looked as white as the piece of paper you got in your hand. And he goes, the captain wants to speak to you. For setup, He just seemed, he's doing what he's told to do, this guy. Nice guy. So I turn, and here comes these 2 guys with their badges out. Internal Affairs, Lieutenant so-and-so, We're taking you for a department-ordered drug test. So that's how the arrest goes down. They take me downstairs, me and my partner. We get changed, and I got my clothes, my civilian clothes, and all my stuff. Of course, I have cocaine in the pocket of my civilian clothes. So I'm going to get rid of the cocaine. I'm going to throw it out the window when I get in the patrol car. Taking me to there's no handles on the... So now I smoke Marlboro Light at the time. So I light up a cigarette. Hey, guys, you open the window and smoke? Nah, that's all right. When we get there, we'll open up. They knew something was up. I couldn't get rid of it. So I figured when I get out of the car, I'll just go like that. I'm slick. I can do it. They were there. Then I went around the car. I couldn't do it there. Then I hit this phalanx of about 60 cops, all with brass on their head. They were lining the walkway. So you could do not. I'm like, this is all for a department-ordered piss test? Something's not right. In comes a guy from Suffolk County PD. This is up in Left Rec City, police psych ward. Suffolk County PD, yeah. You want to arrest for conspiracy to distribute narcotics? Of course, they search me. They empty my pockets. Out comes cocaine. I get arrested. I get taken out to Suffolk County Riverhead, get out on bail, get rearrested, spend 20-something days, get back out on bail. Ken Urell, my partner from the 7-5 precinct, who's now retired with a 3/4 disability pension, then I got him. He's out on bail now. He puts a wire on, and he convinces me to do something that is not who I am, and they catch it on tape. And you don't hear the whole tape. You only hear a clip of the tape. And this is one of the things I dispute. I'll dispute it to the end, that we're supposed to take a woman and kidnap her and bring her to Colombian dealers to be killed, okay? So that's the story. That's not the real story. We were supposed to go to her house, take 10 kilos and $500,000 in cash and leave her. But because that wasn't aggressive and violent enough, they kept moving the ball in the conversation. And eventually it was like, all right, we'll put her in the back of the car. We'll take her wherever we got to go. In other words, I was done talking about it. In the meantime, I said, put the scanner on, because I bought a scanner. He puts the scanner on and it says, 107 precinct, be advised, there's a stakeout on Avon Street for burglaries. I said, we can't go to Avon. I'm going. What? This is stakeout for burglaries. He says, we're not doing a burglary. We're doing a kidnapping. Oh, good idea. Let's just make believe we're going to kidnap somebody while they're looking for burglars on Avon Street, which is about 2 blocks long. It's about 6 houses on Avon Street. They're going to go there while they're set up for burglars. So I went, something's wrong here. Something's not right. First of all, we weren't even going there to do anything except look at the house. So we're going to case the place out. He turns it into, we're doing it now, we're doing it today. What's the rush? We're talking about $500,000 in cash and 10 kilos. Eventually, they pull into my house and the feds arrest me. They bring me to the Southern District of New York and I face those charges. Learning that he snitched was heartbreaking. When you find out that you're getting cheated on by your best guy in your life, your only guy in your life that's got your back, you don't want to believe it. I pled guilty in front of Judge Kimballwood in the Southern District of New York. In '94, I was sentenced after the Mullen.
No, I'm not taking steroids with me to Australia. That would be stupid.
Commission hearings. For me, I like people to understand that pleading guilty is part of the redemption of life, right? Because I was taking responsibility for my actions. So the Mullen Commission was appointed by David Dinkins to discover the depth of the corruption after my case. I wasn't the first one to be taken down. It was a 7-7 precinct, got hammered several years before me. The 7-7 precinct ended up being a prime example, and we all panicked. 6 guys from my squad left the job. Like, they quit, they went to different police departments, they just resigned, and I was left standing there because I had a wife and kid. I couldn't go anywhere. I had bills on a wife and kid and mortgages, 4 or 5 of them at this point. So I ended up hanging in there and praying that they would go away. But what happened was they said, that's it, it's over, there's no more corruption. So 5 years later or so, when I get arrested, they were so angry because they had made believe, you gotta understand this, they made believe that they cleaned the corruption up by taking out the 7-7. And then when I got pinched and I went down for the 7-5, the Mullen Commission came in to investigate the depth of corruption, and they ended up taking out 30-something men at the 3-0 precinct, the whole midnight shift. They locked the whole shift up. And they said, like, really? I mean, you guys, this is what you're sitting on? The corruption was beyond imaginable. The Mullen Commission came to me, and I didn't want to talk to them. I turned them away twice because I didn't want to testify and give them information that would hurt other police officers. So the third time, I was accused of 9 murders by Mike McAlery, which was all lies. Not only was I a bad cop, now I'm a murdering bad cop, because according to the news, fake news. And my lawyer had just been on the phone with the Mullen Commission. They were begging me to come back in, so I invited them to meet me in MCC New York, and I said, what do you guys want with me? I can't really help you much. I said, but what I can do for you is this. I can teach you how to catch me. Would that work for you? And they said, yes. Teach us how to catch you. I basically had become a public spectacle, and now by taking this plea, I was fortunate enough that I had testified before the commission to help change the New York City Police Department forever, and to help change policing in America forever. Now, it was a little disparaging way of going about it. When you take a plea of guilty in the federal system, you have to tell them everything you ever did. And you have to say who you did it with, because if you don't, and that person gets charged with a crime, and they can come back and arrest you for that crime. And my agreement was, I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did and who I did things with if I have to. But if I don't have to, as long as you agree not to charge me, then it all is very delicate balance on how you take that plea. So it wasn't easy. So did I give people up? No. Why? Because I wasn't willing to corroborate the evidence against them. They had a list of people that they knew already that had done things. And believe it or not, most of them didn't get charged. And they had a long list of people. I pled guilty to RICO, racketeering, and drug distribution. I ended up serving 4,500 and something days. They sent me to Marianna, Florida, which was a very nice federal prison, I would say. But don't forget, you're in prison. Don't ever forget, you're in prison. But I would say it was manageable because I'm a manageable guy. People didn't know how to take, they knew who I was immediately. Wherever I went, I was the cop. I was front page. I'm a New York guy. I don't recommend it, okay? It's not the best way to go. I would say I was surprised that it wasn't worse. I never struck a person, and no person ever struck me. Did I meet every challenge when I was called out? Yes. In prison, I continued my arc of redemption. I ran the drug program for 5 years. I worked on the suicide program for 3 years. I saved 2 lives in prison. So I was an active participant in the prison community in order to improve my own standing and improve those around me. The line officers were kind, not overly, but they had empathy for me. But once you got above the line officers, you got into the back rooms where the people were the decision makers, they sort of held it against me that I was a cop and I disparaged the uniform and the badge and any benefit that most inmates get, which I would have gotten if I wasn't a cop. Like, I qualified for the camp treatment. You ever heard of Fed camps? Club Fed? I stayed in a medium high my whole time, which means basically just under penitentiary level. Well, club feds, of course, people think you're out there playing tennis and swimming and golfing. What they actually are is the back end workers in the military camps. So they'll do services to keep the lawns at the camps cut, the military camps, keep the housing cleaned. Inmates will do a lot of that work. So, and it's sort of choice work because you're not stuck inside of prison walls all day long. I was released in 2004. My father was going to come pick me up with a limo. I said, no, Dad, I want to take the bus. I want to just be normal. I remember getting on the bus and looking out the window. I didn't want to be the cop anymore, the ex-cop, the cop in prison, the high profile. And then I get to the freaking halfway house and I'm all over the front page of the newspaper. And then I took a shower in my parents' house for the first time. And I cried so hard that I didn't feel the shower wetting me. It felt like my tears were wetting me. It was the first time I was able to let loose of all the disaster I did to myself and others. I had a wife and 2 children, 2 boys, and I was a horrible husband, not such a great dad. And I basically destroyed their lives. And I've spent the next 25 years trying to do the best I can to be a father and a friend to my boys and my grandchildren. It was very difficult for me to get a job because it's hard to fill out an application when you're 44 years old and the last job you had, you were 18 or 19, and then you went in the police department, you got this gap of 22 years, and they go, well, what'd you do for 22 years? Oh, well, let's talk about that on the side, so it's difficult. I was born in Brooklyn in 1961. I grew up in Brentwood, Long Island. We had a military mother and a father who was a gem. I never thought about being a cop when I was growing up. I was an accounting major in Suffolk Community College and then CW Post. And my dad had been a firefighter and half of my family had been through the civil service ranks. And so I thought it would be an easy transition. Take the test, which I did fairly well on the test. To get into the NYPD, you had to pass a series of tests. So you had to pass a written test, psychological test, a medical examination, and be overall in good health and a criminal background check, which I passed them all in the New York City Police Academy. They offer you opportunities and examples of how to behave in individual neighborhoods. For example, the Bronx would be a different approach if the guys were out playing dominoes in the street, opposed to Queens where they were getting cats out of trees. So I started out in 1982 in the police academy because it was a large graduating class. So instead of going through a 6-month training, you ended up in training for a year, which was basically no training. Then I ended up getting transferred to the 75th precinct. By the time you left the police academy, you did absolutely nothing. Except get out there, young man, and good luck. My first day in police uniform with a gun and a badge, walking down 34th Street right up.
BTW, I made an animated poem for the Vaquito on my YouTube channel.
Off the Sea of Cortez, a marine mammal elusive and rare awaits to see its fate and vanishes into thin air. At present fewer than 13 lie along the rocky shore, victims of the fisherman's means for catching tutaba by the score. The vaquita are dying out because China cannot live without tasty delicacies from the open sea. Save the vaquita is my plea. They never did anything to hurt you or me.
Okay, that was nice. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Outside Madison Square Garden, 7th Avenue. Their message was, cover your ass. Be on the same page. And by the way, it's not a corrupt thing to do. It's just the right way to handle business. Be in sync, know what you're doing, go about it in a unified approach so that this way there's no discrepancies. And I end up in the 7-5 in 1983, driving down the street to Elvis in the Ghetto is on. My first day, I ended up with tears in my eyes. I wanted to quit. I'm a skinny, wiry young guy, I'm like, this isn't for me. My mother was right. I should have stayed in college. And something in the next 24 to 48 hours, something changed. At one point there, I went like this, I got to sink or swim. And you begin to change. I'm answering calls for assistance, whether it's robberies, rapes, murders, family disputes, aided cases, cats in trees, very rare, if they're not eating it. I love being a cop. I love the action. I know the street. I know everybody. And you have to learn very early on how to maintain your emotional stability and not be overwhelmed by what you're seeing. And that was one of the early things I learned. And the responsibility as a police officer that you end up having is far beyond what you could imagine. You've been given the power to take someone's life legally. And it's not that the civilian can't do it as well, but you're being entrusted with the power of your government to kill someone. Once you learned your limitations and the power that you wielded, you felt like you were God. But it was fun. It was fun. But at some point there, you need, listen, America, we want more, more, more. For me personally, my misdeeds, my criminal and my corruption shined a light on the lapses and the lack of supervision. And if you notice today, you have a lot more higher-end supervisors on the street than they did 15, 20 years ago. So I think they changed their model so that there's more accountability right at the scene today than it used to be years ago. Because years ago, a cop ran the street. A sergeant would show up occasionally just to see if everything was going the right way. But 9 times out of 10, the patrolman ran the street because they're sworn police officers. They're supposed to be given the trust. But today, they've taken it and put a layer of supervisory officers in the street so the decisions are made at what I would say a higher level early on. You have cameras today. You have internal affairs today. You have outside groups monitoring the police today. First of all, it's a very difficult job to be a police officer. A robot would even fail as a police officer, okay? Let's just be clear. Let's be understanding. They are human beings. The fact is that today, policing is so hyper-focused and vigilant on every single thing they do that, yes, it's a very trusted position. I think there's no actual latitude like there was when I was a cop, which was taken advantage of by me, but not by others. So, I mean, you know, and good sound-thinking people that you hire to be a police officer, I think they should have a little more latitude to be able to, like what we call, correct a condition, rather than make an arrest all the time and just change someone's whole life forever. I was put in the position by my deeds and then by my actions afterwards. So I'd like for people to understand that I have tried to do my best. I'm a very highly sought-after advocate when it comes to police suicides. And we know today's environment is very, very fragile when it comes to policing. And I've become quite the advocate for police officers that are going through difficult times and trouble. The NYPD is not nearly as corrupt as it ever was. Okay, that's a fact. The only difference today is the NYPD's corruption is back up top. And it's pretty evident if you read the news in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of big bosses have gotten in a lot of trouble. I'm a proponent of anything. Change is good, but I think there's got to be a safely, so for example, I was a big proponent of the cameras because I think most police officers will do the right thing, especially if they know they're being monitored by themselves, because they are professionally trained on how to act. And I think it's been proven now that the cameras have been very helpful on both sides. I'm a proponent of implementing changes ongoingly. I'm working with the New Solutions Network, and we're working on this thing called Merge. It's an employee health section where if you have an addiction problem, you contact them, your employer, and they put you in touch with a track of people that can help you through whatever, you know, whether it's alcohol, whether it's family, social problems, whatever the illness is you're dealing with. And the PD is accommodating because they can keep you working in a non-patrol or non-confrontational position because they have desk jobs all over the place. And you're basically a police officer working in a civilian capacity.
That's all pretty retarded. Yeah, I think the guy is just kind of sleazy. I can't imagine being that stupid. Might get that. Looks good.
Wait till they get. If you devote yourself to an idea. You did all right in there, kid. Oh, wow! To have a cold heart like mine. You're welcome.
Yeah, that looks good. YouTubers getting sued by Lego for animation or animating their toys into videos inspired by Lego Movie. What a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. That's actually insane. God damn it. Corporations are something else, man.
The Young Turks are now butthurt that the Trump administration has rightfully called Tucker Carlson a terrorist.
I had, sadly, a putative conservative journalist today from the Daily Caller ask me an asinine question. He said, how is the operation against Iran not another forever war? I'm not sure that Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson are conservatives. If you are lauding a Sharia law, even the left, I'm shocked. They are so on their heels. I did a kind of press call when we released the strategy. 50 articles were written that day about the press call. Only one of them from those putzes at Politico was even slightly negative.
Sebastian Gorka, who sadly is Trump's counterterrorism czar, is basically on a mission to label anyone who criticizes Trump, Israel, or the war on Iran as a domestic terrorist. And
like, they're defending Fuentes and Tucker Carlson at this point. It's just absolute fucking lunacy. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Shit. We have to get in there.
Warning. Oxygen saturation levels compromised. Oxygen must remain above 70% to avoid adverse reactions and fatalities.
Jasmine Pet Jasmine.
Isley, I found a power cell. I just need to find a way to get it.
Should I come over?
No, stay put. I'll get it.
I like the running animations. They look stupid. clear that gap. You can totally jump that. Kidding me? Give me a break. Anybody could jump that. Especially from a run? Dude. Aren't you supposed to be in shape to be an astronaut?
Error. Clamp detachment required.
Damn it.
Power supply needed to release clamps.
We're gonna have to listen to that the whole time. Dude, just... What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? I don't want to have to listen to that. Oh my god. Dude. This is like the Shenmue of story games.
Jasmine
What am I supposed to be doing or looking for? Like, everything's fucking closed. You can't even fucking go anywhere. This is baffling. That is also locked. What do you mean use the scanner? The fuck does this do? Oh. Eh. Wait, what? Are there multiple? I don't...
I should be able to move the container into the gap.
Complete.
Perfect. Hello?
Through here.
Be right there. Good Lord.
All this in a matter of hours?
Anders. The substance is all over Hydro.
Has it reached the CO2 scrubbers?
It's everywhere. Who's there? Identify yourself. behind me. Now!
Oh no, they know karate. Please don't make me sneak again. Oh god. I could sneak again. Why is this entire game sneaking? Oh my fucking god, it's outrageous. Oh, I don't care. I don't like clipless pedals, they're just annoying and unnecessary.
Are you okay?
What was that? Get out.
That's not Williams.
What are you talking about?
The organism. It can manipulate its physical appearance. It's changing its cellular structure. It's replicating the human form. It's replacing us.
What?
He is not human.
What? Of course he is. She's right. Don't go anywhere near him.
Talk to us, Williams. What is going on? Wait! We don't know what he is. The test is almost finished, and then we'll know for sure.
This is my ship. You're about to make a very big mistake. Stafford!
Scan complete. Subject unidentifiable.
You never learn.
Intruder identified.
Oh my god. Lock it down! Is there anything we can use to scan ourselves?
Oh, yes, the scanner outside Bridge Ops runs Class A biometrics.
Great, let's go.
Damn it!
Ah! No!
Oxygen levels dropping. Oxygen recovery and stabilization required.
Great. I'll add that to my list, along with getting to the scanner and trying not to die.
Shit!
Dodo Nutellers aren't astronauts supposed to be smart. 80% of them are women. I think these people are DEI hires. Yeah, they certainly act like DEI hires. I feel like if there weren't so many women aboard the ship, they probably wouldn't all get killed by an alien. There'd probably also be more guns and weapons on the ship, too. It's probably the woman's idea to not have everybody carry, like, shotguns or something. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Go to hell!
Young, am I glad I found you?
Hey! So we had some pretty fun times. That's one way of putting it.
Back up, now!
Stafford, thank God, we thought you were...
I said, back up.
Stafford, it's me. Young. For real.
How do I know that?
The biometric scanner outside Bridge Ops. We were heading there now.
You go there under my supervision, do you understand? And every one of you goes through that scanner.
to lie. Seek alternative air supply immediately.
Okay, move. One by one. Through the scanner. You only get to bridge ups if you're verified and on my say-so.
Stafford, we are going to do this. Just lower the gun.
Not until you move through the scanner. Go! Hands up! Walk through the scanner.
Stafford,
Now! Young, please go through the scanner.
as expected.
Well, he's gay, so he should have HIV. HIV positive.
Stafford, I was worried you were... What are you?
No one move.
Now hold on, Stafford. We can resolve this. Stafford, it's me. You know me. She's lying.
I said, don't move. Don't move. Both of you, through the scanner.
If that's what you want. No! Get away from her!
Okay, we know which one's real now.
Get inside!
Jesus. Do you think it's gone? For now. Maybe it's figured out it can't get through the door. What the fuck are we gonna do now? Stafford.
Well, this is a huge bucket of fucking disaster. What are we gonna do now? I need to think.
Young, you should go check on Stafford.
What's wrong?
I don't know what to do.
You have to come to terms with what you did. What happened was awful, but no one can blame you for it. Stafford.
It's over. We're at the end of the road.
Listen to me. Never forget why you started. Commander Stafford. First man to set foot on Mars. Founder of the Belt Stations. Recipient of the Federal Medal of Bravery. We are awaiting your orders, Commander.
I can't do this, kid. It might have to be down to you. I've held you back all your life. I promised your father I'd keep you safe, but all that's done is slow you down. I held on too tight.
And it's time to let go. Let go of this fear, because I've never seen you scared in my life.
You're not that kid playing make-believe in your parents' backyard anymore. But your spirit hasn't changed. Here you are, still flying for the stars, never giving up. Maybe I need to take a page out of your book. I could never replace him. Nobody could. But I know he'd be proud of you. I know I am.
What the hell are we gonna do?
There's no way we can leave this area. Do we even have enough food to hold out?
Forget food. The Andromeda is 6 months away. We don't even have enough air for the day.
Is there any way we could redirect the oxygen into just this compartment? Young?
I think I saw something out there.
What is that?
Well, I'll be damned. It's Charybdis.
Well, hello, beautiful. How did you find us? The Charybdis mission was comprised of 20 landing probes, each with their own drone recon unit and long-range FTL transmitter. It is pretty incredible. Our planned orbit was to fly over each probe individually and collect data, but even so, the chances of us crash landing within range of one is frankly, it's a bit of a miracle.
Well, let's not waste it.
If we follow this drone back to its probe, we could use its transmitter to broadcast an SOS to the Andromeda.
And they could rescue us. Is there any chance we could hold out here for 6 months?
There's got to be a way. Restrict oxygen to just this compartment, foam seal the doors, close off any ancillary vents.
I knew our luck would turn around.
Let's put a team together to find it.
First, we need to agree on what message we're going to send to the Andromeda.
What do you mean?
Directive 80-20.
80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20? 80-20?
Aren't we past that now?
This ship is infected with an alien organism. For all we know, it could be in our own bloodstreams by now. Directive 8020 states, the Earth must be protected from extraterrestrial matter carried by a spacecraft returning from another planet. If the Andromeda rescues us, we expose its crew to contamination. We could take it back to Earth.
That does create a problem.
We either send out a distress signal, or we send out a warning. We tell the Andromeda to leave us here.
We can't let them land. We have to make the sacrifice. It's the right thing to do.
Directive 8020 doesn't stop us from going back into orbit. I have faith in Earth's quarantine procedures.
If we get back to Earth...
Isn't that why we're here in the first place?
Please, think about what you're doing.
My number one priority is the safety of this crew. We're going home. Any chance we get. Send a distress call.
It's all on you now. So how much did you know?
As much as you.
Really? Nothing.
Have I ever lied to you?
This would be a hell of a good reason for a first time.
Young, I promise you, I knew nothing before you did. As far as I'm aware, everyone was kept in the dark. For this to work, no one could know.
We put in years of training. We put our lives on the line, and now this? It's not fair.
It's the same end goal, Young. It's just that the objectives have changed.
Do you think it will work?
Ours is not the reason why. There's always someone above you in the chain of command, Young. We don't always have the details, but we have to trust those above us to make the right call. Young, you're the last holdout. For this to succeed, you need to sign. Without you, years of work will have been wasted.
If I agree to this, it changes everything. It's not just 8 years that will be lost. I keep wondering, am I condemning myself forever?
Whatever decision you make, know that I'll stand by your side. I always have. But you need to decide now. This is your last chance. Take it slow and steady. I'll let you know if Earth makes contact. Till then, we're counting on you.
This one's for you, Mitchell. Keep your eyes on the drone. We won't get back up this way. We'll have to come in through the lower airlock. No. The growth. It's out here too. It's underneath the dust. Did it land here too? Just think. We're the first humans to step foot on an exoplanet.
Hello, brave new world. That could have been bad.
The storm doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon.
Anders, from a scientist's point of view, do you think this planet could still be our future home?
It's not impossible. If there's water, gravity, the fact there's life here proves it. Just a shame it.
She can't have gotten far. Let's go! I got a message from Anders. That came from the tunnel ahead. Damn, no way through. Anders must have gone through before the arch collapsed. We'll have to find another way around. wasn't it?
Thanks. Can any of you hear me? Please, I need help. I can't stay here like this.
Let's go. Fork in the road. Time to check in with Anders. What was that? We need to hurry! Anders! Anders. Hey, it's okay.
Ah! Stay back!
Whoa, wait, it's me. Look.
Cernan?
You're safe now.
I'm getting by on pure adrenaline. I'd hate to be alone when it ran out.
You're back with us now.
There it is. Look at those growths. The substance is reaching out of the atmosphere. It's splitting off into space.
Is that what hit our ship?
This planet is cursed.
No, didn't see the new Punisher movie. The guy that they got to play Punisher isn't very good at it. I think I could play a better Punisher. I'm sure some of it has to do with the writers too. They don't really understand the Punisher character. He is way too sensitive and overly emotional.
What is it? The FTL beam isn't working. Looks like the transmitter's been eroded by the storm. Let me take a look. Just a few damaged components. I think it's salvageable. Let's see what we can do.
Angry Joe's a retard.
Hey, Cernan, can you help me with this thing?
Sure. What's this?
I hope the damage isn't too bad.
Some parts are blown. They're all standard modules. We should look around and see if there's any spares to replace them. everything. Everything in its place.
What's the, what is... What are we doing? What's the serial number? $240. So it's 2 something 40.
What is it with writers these days feminizing male characters?
I don't know, dude. Everybody's into that gay shit now. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
It's ready whenever you are.
This is an SOS from the forward reconnaissance ship Cassiopeia. We have crash-landed on Tau City F, and our ship has taken massive structural damage. We've suffered loss of life through contact with an unidentified alien presence. We need urgent assistance. Please, help us. Our crash coordinates and data on the organism are to follow. We'll be holding out here until you come for us. Please, save our souls. What is this?
I know what you've done to us. You're a bunch of sick motherfuckers! It's time
God. Doesn't make sense. Those ships, they're all ours.
How is that possible? We were the first here.
Then who did this? Corinth.
They did send ships before us. What do you mean? They sent us? The probe has message logs. Half a dozen of them. All of them were of us. This has happened before. The original crew were cloned. And we're not the original crew.
I'm not understanding. They're all clones?
Are you reading me? I don't think they can hear us. Let's get to bridge ops.
We have to go through it.
Critical warning.
Hey Richard, have you seen the terrible second season of DMC on Netflix? I don't know why Adi Shankar keeps getting the green light to ruin video game properties by making terrible shows about them.
No. I saw the trailer for the Devil May Cry Netflix anime, and I was already like, oh my god, this is gonna be bad. And then I literally watched like 30 seconds, and yep. I said nope. They literally did not make Dante, they made annoying retard. Like, if you play any of the games, Dante doesn't talk that much. He's not a, like, yappity yapper. And he's very calm and laid back and not hyper at all. And he'll just make, you know, like, funny quips and, you know, play everything off as a joke. They made the Dante in the Netflix anime so fucking loud and annoying and obnoxious, and he constantly tries so hard to be funny. It's so cringe. I don't know how the fuck you could fuck up his character that bad. So yeah, I just refused to watch any of it. It was just so fucking terrible. The last Castlevania anime was also pretty bad. The story just fundamentally didn't make any sense. Like, how do they have the machine that turns them into night creatures? If the vampires could use the machine and become super vampires, why wouldn't they have just used that machine for that? Why was that priest betraying everyone and helping the vampires when he, like, believes in God and he thinks he's gonna go to hell? Why were there so many gay characters? Just a lot of weird shit. I also didn't really like the design of Alucard. He had a really good design in was it like the first 2 seasons? You know, the one with Trevor. He had a good design when it was, you know, the seasons with Trevor Belmont, but then, I don't know, they made him look too kind of gay and trendy with the new one. So there's a lot of problems with it. Like Richter and everyone, they just weren't interesting characters. Richter wasn't as funny and interesting as Trevor. All the supporting characters were kind of less interesting too. Thanks for the donation though, Carrie.
Oxygen saturation level 60%. Seek alternative air supply.
Got like weird baby hands and chicken arms.
Keep moving.
60%.
We'll find another way around.
Alternative air supply.
Yeah, this, I'm not sneaking around anymore. Oh my god, it's one of these puzzles.
Oxygen saturation level 60%. Seek alternative air supply.
Crap. I wonder if she's okay.
Deck 3, Science Deck. Critical warning. Oxygen saturation level 60%. Seek alternative air supply.
You stay here. I'll check ahead.
Could you try and recount to me what happened that night, Samantha?
This is not
We got the call. I was doing my nightly checks. Take your time.
Damn it.
Oh, great.
Maybe it's this way.
You're gonna get the worst, most boring ending because you're playing like shit. I'm gonna have to look up the good ending. You're just wasting everyone's time, dude.
Alright, thanks for letting me know. Appreciate the donation. Not sneaking, so... we'll just see what happens, I guess. God. Yeah, this is not worth playing. It's just way too much sneaking. It makes it so fucking boring, like you can't fucking believe.
Oh, holy fuck, no!
It's literally watch a cutscene and waste your time simulator. Like, maybe if you played this with a trainer, it'd be tolerable. Because then you could just, like, not waste your time. But, oh my god, as is, like, bro, it's so bad.
She didn't make it.
It's just not a fun gameplay mechanic, and it's every fucking scene. Ugh, I don't know what the hell they were
I know this will
thinking.
be difficult to hear, but if you're still out there, you deserve the truth. The government knows what's on that planet. They've known since Charybdis beamed back its first report. They chose to keep the life form a secret, scrubbed the survey report clean, told Corinth to carry on as planned. Isley designed her ships. We all went through training, but nobody knew what they were really planning. When we got into those pods, they copied our personalities, our memories, and uploaded them to synthetic bodies. Your clones. There is no Andromeda mission following you. There's another Cassiopeia, and behind that, another. There's a chain of ships out there in space with more to follow until we fully understand the entity. A program we all signed up to. Once we learn the truth, you're part of an experiment. To see how humans cope with alien contact, and to see how the life form responds to us. And with each cycle, Earth learns more. We send new ships and we tweak our teams for new scenarios. Thanks to you, we're winning this war.
Stop it.
I understand that this is a lot to take in. Can I assist with anything to make it easier to comprehend?
You can tell me the truth.
Yeah, like, the story would be interesting if there just weren't these horrifically boring sneaking sections each and every fucking episode. Just, it's all you fucking do. So draining. I think I'll look for a trainer or something next time I play this game, because, like, I can't fucking handle it. You just stand around, wait, move a little bit, stand around, wait. Like, I fucking can't. Yeah, we're gonna play Battletoads. We'll probably just start playing Battletoads next stream. But I'm gonna get to bed. I'm gonna try to be normal tomorrow and do normal things at a normal time. I just was really tired and got sick and had to wait a bit, but I'm better now. I pooped. But I hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. I'll see you all tomorrow, and sweet dreams.